good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. All right, just gonna wait for a minute, play with my little light. Oh my gosh, I hope, first of all, I want to do a check-in. I want to see how you all doing. And just want to address, I just finished doing a webinar I was a guest speaker on a webinar. Shout out to you, Tanisha Bibbs. Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast as usual. And I just am grateful for the opportunity to share with your audience about the effects that COVID-19 has had on everyone, how it's making people, have these different type of symptoms and signs. I'm not just talking the medical signs, but I'm talking about the psychological signs, in terms of depression and anxiety and fear and hopelessness and despair. Is that you? Am I talking to anyone who have been experiencing this? Because see, first of all, I read y'all comments. I read your posts. I'm the type of person, y'all can let me know if you're like this. I read every single post of a thread. Who does that? Because I certainly do. And I want to make sure I can see y'all comments. Let me see. But yes, I just wanted to check in with you first and foremost. And I just finished doing a webinar on another person's platform where we were talking about the effects that coronavirus has had on everyone. And I just want to check in with my community. I want to make sure that you all are okay. And, I was enlightened the other day and I was, just asking the question. I put it out there. I was being a bit disruptive. I pick and choose because, hey, it's about deciding what is going to help you. And if that means that there's a saying that I've received or gotten from someone that I would study. I respect this person. I have studied under him. And he used to say that, hey, I'm here to upset you, to set you upright. I'm going to just be before you just for a couple of minutes because now I'm getting things ready so that I can make sure that I'm the type of person that I want to make sure that I have all the information to really give you what you need that's going to help you to overcome, to rise, to get to your place that you're supposed to rightfully be past this pandemic. I was disrupted the other day. I asked the question. I said, you know what? I put it out there about these free mental health services. I guess the mistake was I used the word mental health, but I figured that we are at a place where as I read your post, you don't have to admit anything. I'm reading your post, and your post is speaking to me. Remember, I'm a clinical psychotherapist, so I'm able to read between the lines, and I can literally hear you when you're posting what you're posting. Stuff like, you can't take it anymore. You're trapped in this house. You've been crying for hours on end, taking breaks for it to go to the bathroom, then coming back to crying again. And it's just few and far between. And I'm like, okay, I really want to help. And it doesn't make any sense in my mind to sit back on the sidelines and watch you go through this when I'm trained to help. So, hey, offered up some free services over the weekend. And it really wasn't about the services that I offered over the weekend. It was what I posted this week. That I was like, people, didn't sign up or they didn't share. And many of you have commented. I said, hey, we can offer free services to help you with your mental health. But let me put out a funny meme, it was quite funny. If y'all didn't check my page, check it out. It was like the top 12. You had to figure out or pick out your best team to fight COVID based on what people were wearing, making sure that they had their masks. These people were incredibly creative. You have to check my post out on that one. You can go ahead, it's still up. You can pick out, I had like over 200 shares on that one. And I figured, like, in all respect, not trying to come for y'all and trying to clap back at y'all, because, hey, laughter is good, it's good medicine as well. And if that is a means of escape for you and helping you with your mental health, then I'm glad to have contributed to that. So I don't feel any type of way about that. But I was trying to make a point. I wanted to be disruptive. And the disruption was, we can share that 200 times over, but let someone share that they're offering something for free or of value that's going to help you to now deal with the long-term effects, not this temporary relief. So that is where I'm getting at. It was only like a couple of shares. And I don't know if you ever went through this at your house, but in my house back in the day, what would happen was Gigi and Angel, thank y'all for tuning in. Hey James, thank you for tuning in. Hey Jay, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all time. Again, I'm only going to be on here for like another minute because, hey, this is the evening. Although I know that y'all times are like kind of whacked in terms of what time you're going to bed and how long you stay up. I used to go to bed at 7 p.m. I can gracefully admit that because I'll get up at 3 a.m. praying for y'all. You know, going through my process of prayer, meditation, affirmations, and I would have to gird myself up for a good 4 or 5 hours for what I had to face during the day. So I'm just sharing some tips with you real quick on what you can do to rise to the top, to overcome COVID, okay? Because my issue was, the disruption that I was trying to do was, okay, temporary relief versus long-term resolution. We have been so trained and programmed, everyone, on not knowing what to do. We know to do something that's temporary, to numb the pain, to avoid the pain. So I'm going to share with you right now, I don't even use the word pivot. In the industries that I'm in, that's the buzzword. Let's pivot. But see, you have to understand that pivoting is more like, for the sake of my point, pivoting is like shifting. And I think that we're at a place, everyone, that we've been shifting long enough, that we've been pivoting long enough, that we've been avoiding long enough. Because that's why we don't know what the heck to do concerning this pandemic. And the 3 tips that I want to leave with you on what you can do to overcome and rise to the top and get to your rightful place are 3 things I just shared on the webinar with Tanisha Bibbs and her audience. They are: decide. Decide. Do you want temporary relief? Do you want to just keep finding things to either entertain you that is drama driven, which doesn't play good with your psyche right now if you are depressed, anxious, overwhelmed, fearful, panicky, all that drama that you're used to before the COVID? How is it working for you right now to keep trying to find things that is going to take your attention off or pivot away from? How long are you going to do that? Will you not take the time to find out, like, just to sit still for a change? Now that we have no place to go at this point, that we have no choice but to sit still and to see what this means for you. What does this mean? You have to understand that we're comprised of mind, body, and spirit. How well are you in touch with yourself, with your spirit, with your body, with your mindset? How in touch are you? Again, I'm just here to upset you, to set you up right. It's not a matter of saying all the politically correct things. I mean, come on now. We learned that enough from the powers that be. It's a matter of now positioning you to wake you up and to position you in such a way that use this time wisely, as opposed to just trying to keep your head in the sand, waiting for it to blow over. Take this time to start getting to know not everybody on social media, not everybody's business, because you're trying to avoid your own stuff. I get that thing. I understand. Not only have I counseled people for over 25 years who've done that stuff, but I've done it too. I've done that. Trying to avoid, trying to numb, trying to not deal with it, try to make sure, act like it doesn't exist. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's like a test. It's going to keep coming over and over and over until you pass it. So this is a conversation for the mature. The ones who are like, you know what? I don't know if I want to keep going through this lesson or this test and I'm not passing it. It's not about focusing on people's drama, or even, I'm not saying you do what you have to do. It's a decision. It's a choice. You can choose to be depressed too. You can choose to be anxious. You can choose to be fearful. You can choose that. Or you can choose to do something about it. You don't have to choose on the fact that, wow, I lost control. I lost hope. I'm helpless because everything that I've known is no longer existing for me. I empathize. I mean, can you tell I really do empathize? I empathize with you. But right now, this conversation was more about, I've always been the type of person that I want to plant seeds. It's not even about trying to give you an answer that's going to make you feel good. We do that. Everyone is on social media. Everyone is on webinars. You're getting the encouragement, the empowerment. This is like Netflix in a way. You know, you could turn on your social media and you could find different channels on who's encouraging when you need a moment to be encouraged, when you need a word, when you need direction, when you need steps, when you need strategies. And at the same time, you need someone that's going to really tell you what it is for what it is. And I'm saying to you, and just planting a seed for those who are still here, make a decision. You can decide to be victim to this pandemic, or you can choose not to. It's easier to choose to be victim. Not much fight. And you can choose to have this temporary relief because this is what you know, it's familiar. But I know that functioning in the dysfunction doesn't work. And I think that y'all are running out of opportunities to function in the dysfunction. So, yeah, take high advantage. You don't have to even admit it. I mean, I get it. You don't want nobody to know. I used this word yesterday. Oh my goodness, y'all. I was so passionate. I'm going to use that word passionate. I'm making excuses. But hey, I own it though. When I put it out there yesterday about, the nerve of y'all sharing 200 times over about some daggone, number 12, you picking out your team 12, 9, which I picked. I picked number 9 and number 12, definitely on my comeback COVID team. Y'all have to check that out. That was hilarious. I really have to say, I looked at it a few times and I laughed out loud. However, if you're given some services to help you with your mental state, I get it that mental health is still a stigma and all this jazz. And I get it that the algorithms, with Facebook. But if people that I don't even know, like it's one thing to not know all 5,000 of my friends on Facebook, but it's another of people I have never, ever, ever met in my 10 plus years on being on Facebook who is on my page sharing stuff, sharing that particular post. So I don't know if it's about the algorithms either. It may be, I don't know. I just know that take advantage of this time to make a decision, to decide if you want to continue to be victim to this thing, or if you're going to now make a decision to do something different to get a different result. And the way that you get a different result is that you have to think differently. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting the same thing and keep repeating this test. I need y'all to wake up and see this thing for what it is, beyond the distractions. See, that's the biggest thing ever, everyone, is that we are so used to the distractions, Beverly. We're so used to the distractions, Kelly. How are you, Kelly? I want to say Kelly Beard has inspired me. Y'all have to check out her page. I pray to God that you're okay. What Kelly has shared was how she was positive. I believe you were positive with the coronavirus. And the thing that inspired me, and you may not even know this, Kelly, but what inspired me on your Facebook Live, when you shared about it and you was giving us tips on this is real, y'all need to take precautions, y'all need to do and obey to what is being said and told to us to do. But what you said about God and faith, Tanisha on the webinar that I was just on, she asked me that question. What do we say? What do I say to people when they have lost faith? One thing I love what Kelly said was that, and I'm paraphrasing, that, yeah, I got this. I'm positive with this coronavirus, but I know that God is my Redeemer. He still lives. That right there is faith like no other. And for her who has experienced that, can still stand on faith with it, then surely us who do not have it can stand on faith and keep riding this thing until we get this test, until we pass it. Make a decision. I'm just here to upset you, to set you up right. I'm preparing you now, because the Facebook Lives that I'm going to do, or the live streams I'm going to do, or the webinars I'm going to do, is really not to appease or pacify. It's really, Lord knows, it's all about waking y'all up. Taking advantage of the opportunities that are before you by making a decision to do so. That you want the long-term effects. No longer later for the distractions, later for the avoidance, later for playing victim, later for short-term effects. It's time for healing. It's time for deliverance. It is really time for us to really be our true selves. Highest, greatest, bestest, realest selves. Like no other. Dreams that you had that you thought that you could never make happen. Here is opportunity. I don't know if anybody have heard this, and y'all could talk back to me, please. I would love y'all comments. Don't let me monopolize this conversation. In greatest adversity, there's greatest opportunity. In our greatest adversity, there's great opportunity. What opportunities have been presented to you guys? And I'm speaking more so to y'all spiritual plane. I want to know what ideas, dreams. That's the questions that I have for you. Y'all can ask, or people can ask you guys, okay, well, how are you dealing with this? And what show did you look at? Did you look at, what is it called? Tiger King or whatever it is? Y'all can ask that. My question to you is, in your spirit, when you can't escape it, when you're in your time of solitude, when you're about to lay down, or even throughout the day, you're feeling something like there's opportunity. Y'all can't tell me that y'all not feeling it. I don't want to hear that. Things have been coming up for you guys and gals. And you don't have to share it here. That's fine. It could be rhetorical. But I just want to know what ideas, dreams that you have and had that you see opportunity for. It's no longer us depending on the system or the excuses or the man or anyone. Who wants to be in this situation again where we have to now wait for a check from somebody? By which, if I may say this, and I didn't expect to do this tonight. I really, honestly, I did not. But dang, you can make daggone 100 times over. It's 100 times more than what they're kicking out to you. Lord, I just really, really pray. I pray. For this message, because here's my thing too. I knew that I can't sit on this. I can't not say anything. It's available. If I'm thinking this way and I'm feeling this way, that means it was meant for somebody. Think about that, y'all. Things that y'all sitting on that that you should be sharing or talking about that really makes a difference in your life and the life of someone else is beyond just making them laugh or beyond just, shooting the breeze and waiting for this to all pass over. This is prime opportunity that you show up in your highest, greatest, bestest, realest, truest self. And how do you do that? You make a decision to not play victim. You make a decision that, I'm going to take my control back. I'm gaining control back off of this situation. You make a decision. You make a decision to get to know who you are. It all starts with you. The bottom line and the answer to your questions as to why am I feeling this way? Why is this happening? What's going on? Because it's about you. It really has not much to do. And I'm not downplaying or belittling nothing of what has been going on. I'm just I've always been the type of person where it's like, Dr. Tina, she's on here. You know what I'm talking about, Dr. Tina. School everybody here. It's about peeling back the layers. Cutting down, we were taught in counseling school. It's like cutting up the apple or the onion and just peeling back the layers. And y'all, I get that. Who wants to discover the thing about us that I call the plagued self? That self that you and no one else ever goes to. I understand, because I've been studying human behavior for a minute, that we got stuff about us that we don't want to see. There's reason why we don't go there. I get it. And it's still no excuse, y'all. That's the point that I'm making, that it doesn't matter at this point. Because you can decide to be here and stay here the way that you are, or you can take advantage of getting to know who you are, what you possess, and what do you have to offer to humanity. That you show up and be available even when you think that you have nothing to offer, even if you downplay or you don't have enough confidence in yourself or you think that you can't make a difference. All that, you got to start telling yourself that those are lies. I feel like getting church. Lies from the pit of hell. It's lies. Start believing truth. And you get to know truth when you start to decide. I keep using that word decide. It's a decision, everybody. So if anything tonight, all I'm doing is planting this one seed. Decision. Decide. How can you expect to get your dreams met if you didn't decide to get your dreams met? It's that subtle. It's that subtle. You would think that you will have what you have right now or what you desire. But if you never made the decision to want it, because that's the step, that's the pre-step. We skip those steps, those subtle steps, because we're so distracted, because we have become so routine on life. Letting life pass us by. Whoever felt that way? Life is passing me by. I don't know when I'm coming or going. It is amazing how these two big factors, I was sharing this on Tanisha's broadcast on the webinar, how in China it's already reported that divorce rates are up. Why? Because they're going to y'all. Who am I talking to? Hey, Toro. Hey, Kelly. Hey. Yes, amen. He is a redeemer. Hey, Erica. Yes, y'all. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jim, how you doing? How you doing, Jim? It was amazing. How? Oh my gosh. It's just so much to say, y'all. I just don't know how to say it other than I want to plant the seed about decision. You got to make a decision at this point. If you don't walk away or get anything else from this conversation, just know that you have the choice to decide. Don't skip steps. It's those those subtle things that we miss because we've been letting life pass us by. We don't know when we're coming or going. China. I had to talk my way into that. China is going up. Why are the divorce rates going up, y'all? Can y'all please put in the comment section, why do you think divorce rates are going up over in China at this point? See, we don't have the data yet necessarily over here at the States. I can absolutely guess. That will be too easy of a bet. If I want to make some money, look, I'm telling y'all better take full advantage of all the opportunities to make money. Who's some seamstresses out there? Who are tailors out there? Do y'all know y'all could be making y'all bank by making these masks? Please. Anyway, that was a plug right there. You beauticians out there, I'm upset with y'all because I don't see enough webinars unless I go into someone's community, but I don't see people that I know who knows how to do hair and knows how to pluck eyebrows. Do you know that you're sitting on a gold mine right now too? I'm the type of person that I go to people to get things done, and now I'm like, I don't know what to do. Y'all could be making some videos and positioning us, those people who need you. There's going to be a lot of us that need you because I don't wear wigs. I can't get out there to get one. So I need to know how to do my hair, how to pluck my eyebrows. Y'all should be doing these videos and webinars at this point to help us. There's money to be made. Anyway, the reason why the divorce rates are going up is because Bishop-elect Yolanda Johnson, how you doing, ma'am? It's because people are home. They've never been at home to be together. Family has not been family the way that the prototype, the image, what's the word I'm looking for? The ideal of what family is. We had this idea, or that's this ideal of what family is to be, but the realism of it is been opposite of what the ideal has been presented and portrayed and instilled and grind into our heads. So now people don't know, look, significant others don't know significant others like they thought they did because they've been so distracted with work, not being home. You barely see your family. You work at 8 hours, 10 hours a day. And then when you get home, you're tired. You only got like an hour, if that, with your family. Let's say 2, if you're lucky or blessed. And you don't even know who you are with. Life was passing you by. So now people are like, I don't know who this person is. I can't stand their little quirks. I didn't know this about them. How you didn't? You married them. You're with them. You've been living with them for a while. How did you miss that? Oh, because you've been distracted because of life passing you by. You're too busy in someone's backyard and you're not in your own. So now we're forced. I tell you the truth, this whole coronavirus situation, pandemic has been something else, y'all. It's been horrific. And for us, if y'all can really catch this, it's been a blessing. Of course, the image compared to what I just said wouldn't match. How is it a blessing when people are dying, when people are suffering? The greatest adversity breeds the greatest opportunity. What are you here to do? Who are you? Make a decision. Wake up. Pass this test. See what this really means for you. Who are you here to serve? Who are you to become through this pandemic? How do you rise to the top? How do you overcome COVID? How do you get to that point to say that and mean it? And not just say it and mean it, but like that moves you to do something. Make a decision. Decide, what do you want? Who are you becoming in this situation? Make a decision. Second part is remember your resilience. You're resilient. Yes, I'm dating myself. I used to love some good times, Latoy. I used to love some good times, Earlene. I love good times. I used to love some good times when James was on there. Now, after James, I don't know what the heck happened. But there was a scene. Who knows good times? Please don't have me by myself being the older one in this group. There was a scene on Good Times where Florida had said to James, because you know it's the irony of it being called Good Times, right? But dang it. Florida was like, okay, James, yet another situation is going on. What are we supposed to do? How are we going to make it out through this situation? And what did James say with his stoic, fatherly self? He said, like we always do. Every time, Florida, like we always do. You know what the answer was? The answer was, somehow. There are storms that you've been through, y'all. Maybe y'all never been through. I know this is something big in my lifetime, so I know that many of us are from that same era. You know, the Gen Xers in the house. We may not have gone through this type of experience in our lifetime. But you have gone through experiences that you thought that you would never make out of. But yet you're here. Hold on to your resilience. Remember, you have resilience, but you won't know that unless you really get to know who you are. And I get it, that again, you don't want to seek things that are within you, that it may be scary, it may be dreadful. You don't want to look at it. But a dear friend of mine, Buddy Love, I didn't want to bring him up because he is a disruptor. He is controversial. And I was like, I don't want to know if I want to say that I'm associated. I really appreciate that guy because he's really talking truth. I think what I really want to encourage you all to do is really start seeking after some truth. Seeking after things that's really going to disrupt you. Not just by cliche, not just for business, but really disrupt you. Because it's time for you to get upset, to set you upright. That is the way that you're going to make it out of this situation. You got out of other situations before. You got out somehow. You're going to make it through this. You're going to make it through this. Kelly Beard is a witness. There are plenty of people who made it out, who beat COVID. I have a dear friend, Ruben Mata. I have posted his video. He talked about that. What he's done and how he made it through. His faith in God. He held on to faith. What is your truth? What's going to help you out? Maybe you're not religious. Maybe maybe you don't believe in God. Okay. What are you holding on to? What is your truth? What is your truth? What is the thing that you can hold on to get to the other side? Hold on to your resilience. But you won't know how resilient you are unless you really tap into who you are. Mind, body, and spirit. And the last point, even though I said like an hour ago that I was only going to be before you for a few minutes. Oh God, the biggest factor that y'all need to do to help y'all through this, to beat COVID, to combat COVID, to get to the other side, to overcome and to rise to the top and F COVID is this. Get back your control. The Serenity Prayer, who knows the Serenity Prayer? And you don't have to have gone to the AA to know the Serenity Prayer. Who knows the Serenity Prayer? Pretty much, I'll be paraphrasing. I usually mess this up, but now that I said that, I may mess it up. I'm not sure. But you have to accept. Thank you, Lord. Got my help coming. Accept the things that you cannot change. Have the courage to do or accept what you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I know I threw an extra word in there, but the point that I want to make is this. Accept what you can control. The courage to know what you can. Accept the things that you can control. So in other words, you may not be able to control certain things. Accept the things you cannot change. Accept the things you cannot control. Replace the word change with control. But focus on, instead of the lack, the loss, the limitation, the scarcity, the desperation, what you don't have or what you don't want. Lord have mercy if I don't plant this other seed in your head. Besides making a decision, start focusing on what you do want. Focus on what you do want. What do you want, everyone? What do you want out of life? What do you want? You know, I find studies have shown, and me talking to clients, that most times people do not know what they want. They're too busy being distracted, avoiding, and pivoting. What is it that you want? What is in your wheelhouse that you can control? When you put yourself in position to control, that gives you the momentum, the power, the enlightenment, the insight, the awareness, the hope to get to the other side. So make a decision. Get to know who you are. Take the time to know what this is saying to you. The greatest adversity breeds the greatest opportunity. What in the world can you do? Dreams that you had, desires that you had, that you buried, that you thought that you could never do. Prime opportunity to start seeing and tapping in. There have been some things that have been coming up for you guys. Y'all need to pay attention to it and write it down. Write it down. What is coming up for you that will give you a position to do something with it? Remember that you're resilient. You've always been. Tap into yourself. Get to know who you are. Regardless of the fact that you may have buried some things. Take baby steps. If you need help, that's why I'm here. Make sure you inbox me. I'll be more than happy to help you and assist you. It'll be my pleasure to serve you. It's a saying that I've been saying, is that together we stand and together we overcome. Together we stand, together we overcome. Y'all can put that in the comment section. Together we stand, together we overcome. Y'all can say that. Together we stand, together we overcome. Remember, I said that because something's going to come up that God has been putting on my heart to do. So I know I'm going to do it. So look out for that. Together we stand, together we overcome. Remember that you're resilient. And then lastly, take back control. Control what you can. That will give you the momentum to be able to truly rise to the occasion, overcome the effects of COVID-19. And that you can truly, absolutely, unequivocally, unapologetically can say F COVID. So that's all I have. It is my bedtime. But y'all make sure that y'all look out. If y'all found value into this, y'all make sure that y'all share. Y'all gotta make it up to me now, because see, y'all didn't share my post about how I was offering my virtual office is open. To provide the counseling, or let me say the mental wellness, or let me just take the word mental out, the wellness and well-being support that you need during this time of this COVID-19 pandemic. So again, if you or someone you know, you can feel free to inbox me. It's all about making sure, with having 25 years experience in the mental health field, I know I do not look it, but I know I look 25, but having had experience in helping people to get confidence, clarity, and comfort and convenience and peace in their mind, that they are encouraged that they can make it. I'm always about encouraging and empowering people beyond just settling you mentally, but I'm always interested in you holistically, mind, body, and spirit. So if you are in need of that, if you are in need of partnering, if you need encouragement, if you need to understand the steps and the strategies of being able to implement steps that will help you to overcome fear, stress, overwhelm, anxiety, depression, loss, hopelessness, helplessness, I am at your service. You make sure that you check out my website is DrSarahRlangley.com, DrSarahRlangley.com, so that you can find out if we're a good fit. Check me out, see what you think. And if you find that you or yourself are in need of my services and assistance, please make sure that you reach out to me. I would definitely be at your service. And it's confidential, so you don't have to ever worry about your business being put out there. It's just a matter of making sure that you are definitely taken care of, mind, body, and spirit. All right, so if you found value in this video, please share it out, because that is one contribution that you can do for yourself and for those who are waiting for you to show up in your highest, realest, bestest, truest self, so that we all stand together, we all overcome together, and be able to say on one accord, F COVID. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. I hope that I set y'all, hope I have upset y'all enough to set y'all up right, at least a starting point. God bless you. Y'all take care, and I will be talking to you very soon. Look out for more videos. All right.